YouTubers, this is the Irish Scrapper back with another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make these really cute burlap is what the Americans call it. We call it hessian flowers. You can make them in all sorts of sizes and even make them into a brooch like I've done with this one here. And they're very, very simple to do. To start off with, you can make a template. This is a 6-petaled flower, and you can download it from my Facebook if you want to. And then you need some of the hessian or burlap. And what I've done is I've treated the burlap with 50% PVA glue and 50% water. I put it in a little yogurt carton here and I shook it until it was thoroughly mixed. And then I just took a paintbrush, dipped it in and painted the burlap and left it to dry. It took a couple of hours to dry, and that makes the burlap pliable. Without that, it kind of goes dusty and it starts to fall apart. So that's step one. Paint your burlap with 50% water and 50% PVA glue, let it dry fully. Download and cut out your template, and you simply place your template on top of the burlap. Take your scissors and cut around the template, and you need to do that 3 times. So here you can see I've cut the template out 3 times. And the first stage is that you take a scissors and you simply nip in between each of the petals, but a quarter of an inch or so, all the way around, like that. Now you take your first template and you cut off half of the first petal, like I've done here, as you can see. Then you take your glue gun and you place a small amount of glue on your petal, and then you simply take the petal next to it and bring it over, and it just gets held in place like that. So that's your first one done. Give it a second or two to dry, and excuse me now while I reach for something because I need something to roll it. So I'm taking a skewer and you simply roll the petals around the skewer like that, and it'll give them some bit of dimension and shape. Then you take your next flower, and as you saw I did do the little snip in between each. For this one now you completely cut away one of the petals, so you go right into the centre and remove the petal. But save this petal as you'll need it at a later stage. And once again take away half of this petal. Pop your little bit of hot glue on the petal. And as before, just bring this petal over and hold it until it actually sets. When it's set, you take your skewer and once again you roll it around to give the flower some shape and dimension. Now if you hadn't done the PVA stage, the petals wouldn't hold their shape. Okay, and when you have that done, what you need to do is snip a piece of the bottom off of this flower, because otherwise your flower will be very dimensional. So there's a nice little hole like that in it, and then that will sit neatly in on top of that flower. You offset the petals like that. Now the next one, I haven't done the snippy bit on this, so I'll just do it quickly. And with this one you're going to remove 2 of the petals, so I will remove this one and this one. And again you need to save these petals to use them later. And I'm going to take away half of this petal, put some glue on it and bring this one around like so. hold it until it sets. And once again, as before, roll the petals back. Like that. And as before, you need to snip off some of the bulk here. Again, you're left with a little hole, and that one then will sit neatly in there like that. Now, the next thing we're going to take is to take the 2 petals that we cut off, but what we need to do is to make each petal into 2. So you kind of cut nearly what I suppose I describe as a heart shape, like that, and the same on this one. Like that, and then kind of get it going so that it's a bit pliable. So before you put any glue on at all, give it a quick roll like that, and then put a small amount of glue along the edge like that, and simply roll it. Another little bit of glue here to hold it. You're left with something like that, and again just fold back the petals like that, and we're going to snip off the end of that, and that one will fit in there. And then with the last petal, again make it into a heart shape, and make it a bit pliable. A little bit of glue, and fold it in on itself like that, and open back the petals and cut off the bottom like that. So now we're going to assemble the flower. So with the first one, which is the 4-petaled one, put a little bit of glue around the hole like that, and then set it in to the first flower. Then with the second one, again, a little bit of glue around the bottom like that, and offset it and put it into the middle. Now if you need something to help you, just use the bottom of your skewer to secure it. Then we're on to the double petal one. Again, put a glue around the end, or alternatively, you can put a bit in the middle. Put that in there like that. And then last but not least, your single petal. And push that right into the centre. And when it's fully dry, sorry now I'm all bits of strings from the hot glue. When it's fully dry, you can go back in with your skewer and you can actually arrange your petals better. Now, you can put a centre into the middle of your flower. Sometimes I put like a flat back pearl, and actually that's a bit small for a flat back pearl. But what I could put in is a bead in like that. So you just hot glue it and put your bead in. This one has used a flat back pearl, and this one I've used a different type of flat back pearl, and I put a pin brooch on the back of it so that you can put on your clothes. They can be made in various sizes. As you can see, the size of this little one, I just used a die cut and cut out the flowers 3 times and arranged them and put a little button into the middle. Now you can also make them quite fancy by just taking a string from the burlap and putting some beads, threading some beads onto it. And then you could just put a bit of hot glue in here, and stick your beads in and hold them until it's somewhat dry. and that really does fancy up your little burlap flower. I'll go ahead and put the bead into the centre of the flower here. As you can see, they're very quick, very easy, and you can use them in lots and lots of your projects. I'll put this one down here and you can see it with the others that I've made. What I used for threading the burlap was just this package of beads. They're very reasonable to pick up in any of the craft shops. And you'll need a needle that will accommodate the thickness of the burlap to thread the beads on. So have a go at this, and maybe some of you'll post what you've made and let me know how you get on. This is the Irish Scrapper saying goodbye for today, and watch him for more tutorials coming up in the near future.